Hello guys, welcome back to Recap TV. Today I will explain the 9th episode of Bon Appetit. If you haven't checked out the earlier episodes, then do watch them before this one. The link is in the description. Episode 9 begins with the announcement of the results of the second round of the cooking competition. The results are displayed. The king has given 8 points to the Ming chefs, whereas Yoon has given just 1 point to the Joseon chefs. Everyone is stunned. The king smirks in anger. He then calls Bai Long forward. The king says Bai Long has really impressed them with his extraordinary cooking skills that he learned from traveling in Joseon. Bai Long thanks him. But the king then says the scores for this round are invalid. Yoon laughs and asks, "What are you saying?" The king bursts in anger and says, "Take a look at it," pointing towards the score scroll. These are the points Yoon has given after testing the food of the Joseon chefs. He intentionally gave just 1 point to Joseon so that Ming could win this competition. Yoon says, "I just followed the rules. You said we would give points to each other's chefs after testing their food. What's wrong with that?" The king replies, "You have not given fair points to the chefs after testing their food. You also brought disgrace to the Ming chefs. Even in the first round, Bai Long was embarrassed because of this. By doing this, you have not just disgraced the honor of Joseon chefs, but also the Ming chefs." Yoon asks, "So how do you plan to get the results for this round?" The king replies, "We will let the chefs give points to their own food. Based on that, we will decide today's winner." What? We have to give points to our own food? Yun wonders. Then both the chefs taste their own food. The king calls Yun forward and asks how many points she would like to give her food. Yun apologizes and says she can't rate her own food. The king asks, "You can't? But why?" Yun says it wasn't just her, but her entire team worked hard together and prepared this dish wholeheartedly. So they can't rate this food themselves. The king then asks Bai Long to come forward and give points to his own food. Yoon signals Bai Long, but he ignores him and says he agrees with what Yun just said. He can't give a score to his own food. The king then says both chefs have done extraordinarily well. Just judging their food by tasting it will not be enough. That's why he asked them to rate their own food. Both cooks performed well and are equal. So even today's competition is a tie. He asks Yoon whether he has any problem with it. Yoon replies, "Even if all 3 rounds are tied, Ming will still win. It's a win-win situation for us." So Yoon says he doesn't have any problem. The king then says, "Okay, so the 3rd competition will begin tomorrow at the same place, same time," and then he leaves. Then we see Bai Long speaking to Yun. He says, "I lost today, but still, I won." Yun replies, "No, I won today, but still it feels like I lost." Bai Long says, "If our food was tested some other time, I would have won for sure." Yun replies, "If our food was tested tomorrow, your dish would still carry the flavors and taste in it." Bai Long says, "Always cook food with deep thought, not just for taste. I think that is a flaw in me." Yun says, "Always cook food for taste. I think that is a flaw in me." Bai Long laughs and says, "You are always ready with an answer." Yun says, "You always keep asking questions." Bai Long says, "Looking forward to tomorrow's competition. All the best," and then he leaves. Yoon asks Yun, what did he mean by he won even after losing? Yun replies, "The food he prepared melted everyone's heart, whereas our food tasted delicious. If today's competition was judged fairly, we would have won for sure. But his food will be remembered forever." Meng asks, "So you were praising each other?" Yun replies, "Yeah, kind of." Min tells excitedly, "So Ming's head chef praised our head chef. That itself is a big achievement." Yun says, "Not just me, but all of us." As they were all leaving, Chef Eunuch comes and tells Yun that the king has summoned her. In the next scene, we see Yun meeting the king. She asks him, "Why did you call me?" The king replies, "Why are you so tense? In fact, you did really well today." Yun says, "Just come to the point. I need to prepare for tomorrow's competition." The king says, "That's why I have called you." He then serves her tea. She sees the reflection of the moon in the tea and gets really happy. The king says, "We call it moon tea." The king then asks, "How are you feeling?" Yun replies, "Much better now." The king then asks, how will you manage with your injured hand in the third round? Yun replies, it's okay. I can manage. Just chopping the vegetables is a bit hard. The king tells her, just ask that girl Jiam to chop the vegetables. You are brave. Yun replies, actually, I was scared today, but I trusted my team members' hard work. The king says, but still, it was a tie today, even after working so hard. Yun tells him, I thought you changed the rules in the middle because you wanted to play it fair. Then you said we should score our food ourselves. How are we supposed to do it? If they had rated our food honestly, then we would have won for sure. The king says, I never thought that this competition would be that tough. Just like you Kun, I wanted to give Ming only 1 point, just for a mere competition. I risked the entire country. I think I must cancel the third round, even bow to the chief envoy and beg him if required. Yun replies, you don't have to bow to anyone. I will make sure to win this competition. In the beginning, I too was scared, but looking at how Cook Eom, Meng, Jiam, and all others, including the Ming chefs, worked so hard for this competition has motivated me to win. So don't worry, I'll make sure to win. Just trust me. The king then asks, has your pressure cooker lid arrived? Yun replies, not yet. But I trust Chul Song. He will surely bring it to me. The king then says, don't worry. No one will blame you, even if we lose. You've done really well and worked so hard. Yun tells him, don't worry, and then accidentally spills hot tea on her hand. The king panics. He calls the royal physician and orders him to treat her. The physician applies ointment on her hand. Yun feels really better now. On the other hand, we see Consort Kang getting angry, saying, again, it's a tie. Then we see the Grand Queen with a letter from the Ming imperial family. She says, how dare you Kun do such a thing? We then see Song Jae retrieving the chili powder from Prince Jezin's residence. We also see Yu Kun getting angry at his chefs, yelling, how can you not win a single round till now? You are a disgrace to us. We then see Josian cooks preparing for tomorrow's competition. Yun shows them the wild ginseng she collected with the king on the mountains. Everyone is amazed. Now, the next day, the third round of the competition begins. The theme is announced, ginseng soup. The bell rings, and the competition begins. Bai Long tells his team, we must win today's competition at any cost. On the other hand, we see Yun giving respective tasks to each cook to prepare the ingredients for today's dish. Cook Eom asks, what if we don't get the pressure cooker on time? Yun replies, in that case, we must go with plan B. We will have to boil the black chicken in the big iron pot. Cook Eom says, thank God we have another way. Then Yun asks Cook Meng to chop vegetables for the soup. Then both the Ming and Josian chefs start preparing their food. Both Bai Long and Yun greet each other with mutual respect. After looking at the ingredients of both cooks, the king says, it looks like the Josian cooks are making black chicken ginseng soup. But the Ming cooks' ingredients look extremely rare. I wonder what kind of soup they will be making. Yu Kun replies, Wongli is preparing deer's tendon, and Bai Long is preparing lion's mane, an extremely rare mushroom. The king is amazed. Yu Kun then says, it's not just an ordinary soup they are preparing. Its deep aroma can even make a monk abandon his meditation and jump over a wall to try it. That's why it is called Buddha jumps over the wall or buldajong. On the other hand, Yun and her team are preparing their ingredients. Yun is running out of time, but her pressure cooker lid hasn't arrived yet. She decides to wait a little longer, while the Ming cooks continue their work. Cook Eom tells Yun, we can't waste any more time. We must continue with plan B. Yun agrees. As they are about to boil the black chicken in the pot, Master Chun Sang suddenly arrives, flying in an airplane he made in the Josian era. As he lands right in front of the examination hall, the guards surround him. Chun Sang says, I don't have time for this. Let me in. Just then, the royal bodyguard arrives. He asks Chun Sang whether he has brought the pressure cooker lid with him. Chun Sang agrees. He enters the examination hall with full swag. Yun bursts with happiness. He is finally here. She says. She then runs to Chun Sang. He hands over the pressure cooker lid to Yun. The king is also happy to see him. Yu Kun asks, who is he? The king replies, he is the new palace attendant. He has brought the special cooking tool that I requested. Yoon thanks Chun-sang for bringing it. Chun-sang says, the cooker's lid is a bit weak due to the damage, so keep the heat low. Otherwise, it could be dangerous. But Yoon says, I want the maximum heat. Chun-sang replies, in that case, just do it. Yoon asks, wouldn't it be dangerous? Chun-sang replies, not more than losing the competition. Meanwhile, Yefexiu orders more firewood to be brought. But Wonli stops her, stating that this soup must be cooked slowly to taste good. Bai Long asks her to be patient. Yoon then puts the black chicken into the cooker and adds water. She then asks her team to increase the flame to maximum and add as much firewood as possible. She prays, please be strong and hold the pressure. About half an hour later, steam starts coming out of the pressure cooker. The Ming cooks are curious and confused, watching it. Yukun is afraid it may explode. The king reassures him, saying, the head chef knows what she is doing. Yoon is really happy to see the pressure cooker working. She then releases the pressure, which surprises both the king and Yukun. Yefexiu says, it seems like they're already done. Bai Long says, that's strange. Yoon proudly says to her team, after seeing the reaction of the Ming chefs, this is the power of science. Everyone in her team is happy. After boiling the meat, she finally prepares her dish with the help of her team. On the other hand, the Ming chefs also complete their food. The preparation time is over. Now it's time for presentation. Both chefs decorate their food with amazing skill. The king first orders Joseon food to be tasted. Yoon steps forward. The king asks, what have you prepared today? Yoon replies, it's a wild ginseng-infused black chicken soup. She then explains the procedure of how she prepared the dish. Yukun, looking at it, says, it doesn't look royal at all. The king mocks him, saying, this food is eaten for breakfast by the royal families in the Western world. So you clearly know nothing about the West. Yukun pretends, I remember now, the West. Yoon laughs. They then taste the food and are amazed by the flavor. It feels as if they have entered another world. Next, the king orders the Ming cooks to serve their food. Wonli steps forward. He tells them it's called buldajang and explains the procedure of its preparation. After that, both the king and Yukun taste it. The king says, now I know why it is called Buddha jumps over the wall. Anyone would do anything to taste this food. Both finish off all the soup. Now that the tasting is completed, the king announces, to ensure fair scoring, we will let the chefs taste each other's food and let them score it. The winner will be decided based on that. Yukun agrees and apologizes for his unfair behavior in the second round. Both the Ming and Joseon chefs taste each other's food. As Yoon and others taste the Ming chef's soup, they are amazed. Yoon says, if we didn't have a pressure cooker, we wouldn't have stood a chance. We see Wonli hesitating to taste the Joseon food. Yoon notices it. She asks Cookie OM, why isn't he tasting it? He can't score without tasting. Meng says, I've noticed him since the beginning. He hasn't eaten any Joseon food. EOM adds, I heard from the maids that he prepares food without tasting it. Yoon thinks and realizes, he is anorexic. She explains to others, after reaching a certain level of cooking, some people stop liking to eat anything. We call them anorexic chefs. The king also notices and asks why Wonli isn't tasting it. Yukun replies, he doesn't eat anything. He has achieved a level where he can prepare the best flavor without tasting it. But, he can't score without tasting. I wonder how the king will solve this issue. The king gets furious. Then Yoon realizes he may not be eating because the food is plated too nicely. So she mixes everything together into a soup and serves it to Wonli. She says, mixing everything and eating is fun, right? Regardless of the result, I made this food so that you too, as a chef, can enjoy it. Then we see a flashback scene where young Wonli is cooking and trying different ingredients to get the best taste. His grandmother tells him, why are you so curious about taste? What will happen if you are unable to cook the best food? Just throw all the ingredients you have and let them cook. She then feeds the food she prepared to Wonli, and he finds it delicious. In the present, we see Wonli tasting the food. As he eats, everyone is stunned, including Yukun. As Wonli eats, he starts crying loudly. He says, this is the taste I missed for so many years. I was once shocked after tasting the food prepared by my grandmother. For years I tried to cook something more delicious than that, but I couldn't. The more I cooked, the harder it became for me to eat. Now, you have recreated the taste my grandmother gave me. He then tells Yun that he accepts his defeat. Yukun gets angry. The king is happy. Now the results are announced. The Joseon chefs have given 27 points to the Ming chefs. On the other hand, the Ming chefs have given 28 points to the Joseon chefs. Which means Joseon chefs have finally won the competition. Yun happily greets the Ming chefs. She says she was honored to compete with such great chefs. Bai Long also compliments Yun and says he has a lot to learn. Then Yun shakes hands with Bai Long. Yukun says, since we lost, I will agree with the terms and conditions we had at stake earlier. But in return, I need a gift to take back to Ming. The king asks, what is it? Yukun replies, I want to take the royal head chef, Yun Ji Young, to Ming as a tribute woman and offer her to the emperor. Everyone in the hall is stunned. The king gets furious. What did you say? You want to take Chef Yun as a tribute woman? He then starts laughing. Seeing him, Yukun also starts laughing. The king grabs him by the arms. Suddenly, the king stops laughing, and with an angry face, he headbutts Yukun. Everyone in the hall is stunned. Did he just hit the royal chief envoy? The ministers gossip. Yukun's nose starts to bleed. Ming and Joseon soldiers stand against each other. How dare you? Yukun yells. Yukun orders his soldiers to capture Chef Yun. But the Joseon soldiers, including Cook Meng, Eom, and Jiam, protect her. The king mocks Yukun, you've just brought some soldiers to take her? You should have at least brought 100,000 soldiers, that would have been worth my time, indicating that he is willing to fight a war for Yun. Yukun says, you dare to challenge the emperor? The king replies, anytime. Just then, the Grand Queen enters the hall. The king greets her. She asks sternly, instead of celebrating the competition, what on earth is going on here? The king replies, we just had a small misunderstanding with the chief envoy. The Grand Queen frowns. A misunderstanding, you say? Your Majesty, no matter what the conditions are, you must not act so recklessly. She then turns to Yukun and points at him. And you, rather than doing your job properly, you were the one who demanded this competition. Yukun replies arrogantly, I have the emperor's command to harvest ginseng in Joseon and to take women as tribute for the emperor. The Grand Queen's eyes widen. How dare you, Yukun? Furious, Yukun snaps back, how dare you speak to me like that? The queen calmly produces a letter and shows it to Yukun. This is from my aunt, who was the consort of the late emperor. Her name was Consort Yun. Yukun's face drains of color. Shocked, he kneels before her, and all the people from Ming follow his lead, kneeling as well. Yukun begs for forgiveness and promises the king that he will honor the stakes of the competition. He then leaves in shame. The Grand Queen, however, scolds the king for his reckless behavior. The king apologizes sincerely and promises it will never happen again. She then makes a request. Prince Jinmyong wishes to taste the food prepared by the royal head chef. The king happily agrees. I'll arrange lunch with him tomorrow. The Grand Queen leaves, but as she departs, she glances at Yun and gives her a warm smile. We then see Consort Kong with Prince Jason. They whisper their plan. To poison the food Yun will serve the king and Prince Jean. This will make the king furious and lose control, Kong says, and at the same time, we can finally get rid of Chef Yun. Jason hesitates. But won't we get caught if they trace the poison? Kong smirks. Don't worry. This isn't an ordinary poison. It's a poison that isn't a poison, but actually, a poison. Jason stares at her. I doubted you once. I thought one day you'd betray me. Kong replies, you were the one who saved my life. I will forever be loyal to you. Jason nods and promises, once this plan succeeds, I'll make you my wife, and you'll live freely by my side. The scene changes to the king, who orders his royal guard to investigate all military camps, including those deserted or transferred. The guard asks, is this to find the one who attacked you? The king replies, no. It's to find the traitors. I must discover who harbors such hatred against me. The scene shifts again. Yun and Jiam are relaxed and happy that they won the competition. Meanwhile, the king sits with the book Manganrock, noting down the day's events while thinking of Yun. In the next scene, the king and Yoon are together. He asks, "How are you feeling? What did the royal physician say?" Yoon replies calmly, "He said I don't have much time to live." The king panics. "What did you say?" Yoon then smiles. "I knew you'd react like this. I was just teasing. I'm perfectly fine. I can continue to serve you and the prince well." She looks around. "Is this the place where you'll be eating with Prince Jean?" The king nods. "Yes. Prepare those macarons you made before, he'll love them." Yoon agrees. This place is perfect for brothers to share a meal. The king adds with a smile, "We can even eat here in private, if you'd like." Yoon teases him, "I will, if you prepare the food yourself." The king yells, "What? You want me to enter the kitchen?" Yoon laughs. "Calm down. It was just a joke." As she starts to leave, he stops her and gifts her new clothes. Yoon beams with happiness at the beautiful attire. "The colors are so pretty. How do I look? Do they suit me?" But suddenly, her expression grows sad. She whispers, "Once I find Manganrock, I must leave." The king responds firmly, "I won't let you leave." Yoon smiles softly. The king adds, "After lunch tomorrow, come and meet me." But Yoon shakes her head. "I can't. I have other plans." "What plans?" he asks. "I'm meeting the Ming chefs to say goodbye." The king frowns. "I won't allow it." But looking at Yoon's face, he sighs and relents. In the next scene, Yoon and her staff prepare food for the king and Prince Jean. The cooks admire her new outfit, praising the gift from the king. We then see the king with Prince Jean. The king says warmly, "This is the first time we're eating together." Jean replies, "It's an honor, Your Majesty." The king smiles. "Call me brother when we're alone." Jean agrees, though he looks uncomfortable. The king reassures him, "We'll eat together more often." Jean brightens. "I'm really excited to taste Chef Yoon's cooking." The king nods. "We'll taste everything together." Yoon enters and serves the dishes, explaining them carefully. As they taste the food, both are mesmerized. Prince Jean eats with delight, praising Yoon. She thanks him humbly. The king suggests, "Try dipping the chicken in the sauce." Together, they enjoy the lunch like true brothers. Watching them, Yoon thinks to herself, "If the king stays like this, the purge will never happen." Wait, did I really change history? I did. She feels proud. The next scene shows Yoon and her staff bidding farewell to the Ming chefs. Before leaving, Bai Long gives Yoon a cryptic message for the king, "The edges of objects are harder to see. And be sure to lock the latch securely while sleeping." Yoon doesn't understand but memorizes it. On the way back, Cookie OM asks, "What was that supposed to mean?" Yoon shrugs. "I have no idea." Just then, Queen Dowager, mother of Prince Jean, arrives and slaps Yoon across the face. She yells, "After eating the food you prepared, my son is at death's door." Yoon is shocked. "I swear, I have no idea." But the queen orders, "Drag her to the interrogation room." We see physicians frantically treating Jean. Meanwhile, Consort Kang is overjoyed that her plan succeeded. She asks her maid, "What about the female physician?" The maid replies, "She has been hidden in secret." Kang smirks. "Good. I can't wait to see Yoon's face when she's tortured and interrogated." On the other hand, Yoon pleads desperately, "I am not guilty. I did nothing wrong." But the queen doesn't listen. "Torture her until she confesses." Yoon screams as she is tortured. Meanwhile, in the royal garden, the king strolls peacefully, completely unaware of the horrors Yoon is enduring. And with that, the episode comes to an end. Thanks for watching. See you in episode 10.